Hi, my name is Jonathan Hop. This is Sunday Go Lessons, and today we've got an awesome game between basically it's pair go. For the uninitiated, pair go is team go. So instead of having just one person, we have two people on a team. And what's cool is that we have two top Chinese players. I mean, really strong world class. They've won world championships. Players Gu Li, whose nickname is Gu Dali, which means like he has like great power because he's a strong fighter. His partner is AlphaGo. And then Lian Xiao, which is another very famous Chinese professional player, his partner is also AlphaGo. So both humans get the computer as their partner. So we get that gets us in all sorts of fun situations where the computer and the human have to try to work together to obtain victory. All right, Guli's team is black. So we start off. Guli plays a star point, and then this is kind of the white formation here is like the 3-4 point and the 3-3 point is AlphaGo inspired from the last two games with Kejie. So we're already off to a good start. See, Guli played this, which is different. Normally, Michael Redmond said that essentially the Shimari, which is the corner enclosure, is preferable for black, all right, with this stone here. But Lee plays here, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just is not what normally Master would play. White takes over this corner enclosure, and this is the first surprising move of the game. What I really love about Master, what I've really had like a lot of fun this past week, is when he plays moves that I used to get yelled at for playing when I first started to play Go. Like when I was 15Q, I used to love to just kick. Like my opponent would approach my stone, I would kick the stone, and then my teacher would say, "No, it's terrible. It makes your opponent stronger. It's not a good move." And then you see AlphaGo do it, and since AlphaGo, beat Isedo, he's beat Kejie in the best of three match. He gets the benefit of the doubt. So if AlphaGo plays it, maybe it's an okay move. Maybe we've been wrong all this time about whether or not this move is good. So black kicks and white extends, and black plays this is kind of a loose move, but makes sense. This is higher to work better with the upper right hand corner. It's normally you would play something like this, but this is kind of too flat. Right, white played the high move here because the reason being is if white plays low, then black will press here, and then white will be all these low third line stones. 1, 2, 3 third line stones, and third line stones don't have much ability to affect the situation on the board later on in the game. They just make points, and that's pretty much the end of their usefulness. So white played high, and then black still got the press. AlphaGo loves this move. AlphaGo loves to press down on the 3-4 point. This jump is very light. So black pulls back, and then we have a sacrifice strategy where black gets the outside and white gets the corner. And then, of course, we want to do a ladder break because white can't come out immediately because there's a ladder. There's a trap where white will be run all the way across the board and then die. But if you can put a stone in the way so that if white were to run out, he'd connect, then if black doesn't capture the stone or doesn't capture this stone, it will run out and then black will be in trouble. So let me kind of make that a little bit clearer. If black does anything that does not affect this ladder, then white will run out. And then if black tries to capture, the ladder will go all the way over here where there's a stone waiting to help out. So the ladder doesn't work, so black's going to have a real difficult time trying to figure out like how, because now black has this group at A, and the other group at B, and they're split apart, and white's cutting stones at C, excuse me, they're not, you can't really kill them outright, so this is very bad for black. So that's why in the game, black chose this, again, another AlphaGo inspired move. Don't just take. Why take when you can play a move like this that extends to the center? White gets to play the double approach, so essentially I have two stones crowding this stone into the corner. And this is a very common shape, and then white played here. Normally white plays like this, so this is another kind of surprise. One of the biggest things I've been looking for all week is to see what AlphaGo thinks of basic common standard sequences. The standard sequences, you learn in the book that have been, taught to Go players for centuries and centuries. I wonder what it thinks of them, like if it thinks that they're really equal between both players, or does it think that most of what we've thought is about Go is completely wrong? I'm just looking for it. White played here, which overall is a good move. It breaks up the possible territorial framework on the right for black. And then I was like, wow, okay, that makes this is an interesting move, all right? Because I think black is having a hard time finding some like good move. Like this feels a little bit slow. It'd be solid, but maybe would feel a little bit slow. If black plays like this is difficult because then white gets this really good move. At R14, he has a base. So even if black were to try to like harass him, the black stones here, this bamboo tube is great for connecting. It's not great for making eyes. So then white gets to harass black and make some pretty nice profit. So I was thinking black is trying to find, like when you can't find a good move, like a move that directly does what you want it to do, then you need to like kind of create chaos somewhere else, and then eventually you'll be able to grab the opportunity when it presents itself. This is a common, by the way, this is not that weird. This is a common invasion. So we get this, and then we get white didn't continue. Because this, you get like kind of a squeeze maneuver, and then white gets the outside. Which may, it may or may not be okay. Black will get the corner, I think. So white instead is basically saying, okay, listen, if I get another move, it will be better for me, but I want to try to trade this side for this side. And black says, fine, I will do that. White gets the outside, and black plays here. This is kind of the same idea. We don't want to get like squeezed. That would be kind of bad. So black plays here to kind of push through white's shape. This is a knight's move, and it's really bad if your opponent gets to spear you through the knight's move. So it looks like white's shape on this side is starting to get really ragged. So white's got to do something on this side to make up for it. And this starts a really kind of interesting, how should we say, exchange that I was not expecting. It was really cool. Yeah, this game is not as much like surprising or as intense as the Kuchi games were. This game is more about just the cool factor. All right, white Taris. And this starts a really interesting fight. I really thought white was going to play this, but I guess it doesn't like this basically. Like white gets to connect that, but maybe this white group bites the dust in somehow. Maybe it runs out of liberties. This looks pretty bad. Even if white does something like this. This could, yeah, that looks terrible. Black's probably not going to do any of that. That doesn't make any sense for black. What if black does this first, and then tries to do a capturing race? Maybe he could try to do something like that, but maybe he still loses. In any case, I really expected white to do this first. This was the first move that came to mind, but instead white took away a liberty from black. And what's going to end up happening is we're going to essentially do a little bit of a trade. So white's going to go and kill these stones. This is a great skillful move with Tesuji. This prevents white from immediately going into S2 because when white plays this, it will need another move. It gives black a little bit extra liberties. So white kills. See how it works here? So essentially, let's say white plays somewhere else. Then if black plays here, then white cannot play at T4 and white cannot play at T1 because he doesn't have the liberties for it. So that means that white must take, and then black gets this really awesome, what's called a ponuki, or a flower, on the outside. So black's shape is really strong. This shape's really strong. Black kind of finishes off but like with this. So that now there's like these white stones are speared through and they're pretty much done for. White gets a really nice corner though, but black on the outside is really doing really well. Corner, very calm move. I don't know if I'd be this calm in this situation. I would feel that the whole right's going to be swallowed up. And this move is another one where, like, you know, I was looking to see if AlphaGo thinks our Joseki books are just trash. Like, I can picture AlphaGo just taking the book and just, like, ripping out the pages, like, who cares about this? This is all trash. Because normally what you would do is you would play like this. Alright, this is the standard sequence, but I've never had a good experience with it. Whenever I play it, at some point in time, white's able to play something like this and then make something on this side using some sort of sabaki technique. And so this actually is really like refreshing. It makes a lot of sense. It splits up white very cleanly. This is a big move on the left side. I could not imagine what life would be like if black were to get a move like this, then you may as well just go home. So this is a really big move. Black plays a shoulder hit. And this is just to keep black basically weak, right? And so black didn't elect to play the heavier but more solid move. He jumped, which is faster. This is the pincer. This is pretty standard. So black plays this. This at first I thought was slow, but I guess if like what AlphaGo is really good at is using his solidity. Like he'll make groups really solid, and it'll appear like, well, why are you taking the time to do that? It's like, well, no, like strategically speaking, if the right side is really solid, then white has like very little he can do there, which means that a lot of this will eventually become black's zone of control. So white has to come in at some point. If he comes in too close, like if he just tries to directly save his stones, he might die and get capped like this. And if he comes out too far, then black will just easily take the rest of the territory on the right side without much damage. So you gotta find kind of that middle ground. This is an indirect attack on the center stone. There's not necessarily a great way to attack this immediately, because maybe white will try to link up and then turn this part of the board into his zone of control. So we kind of want to preempt that. This is Lian Xiao. I like this move a lot. This is one of those times when you're possibly under attack, you need to like relax, take it slow, and defend. All right, black. This is standard way to attack, and then I was like, whoa, okay. This makes sense. I wouldn't have thought to attach here, but all right. We attach, and then black. This is a really strong shape, and this is cool because it protects the cut, and also we can try to do something with the L4 stone to erase black's territory, because black's right side got really big at this point. This is really scary. If black cuts, then we can basically say goodbye. You're in a net. Atari here will not help you at all. Black's dead. So we get to fix the cut, and we also get to affect a territory down here. This, of course, we don't want to just get pushed around, so black counterattacks and plays this, and so that basically means that white cannot. It's going to be real difficult for white to do something like this. Okay, so basically white will just, I don't know, like, yeah, so like white can't connect out, so it's going to be real difficult for white to try to erase the territory. So this move will kind of makes it more difficult for white to get in here, which means that if it's difficult for white to get in here, this is a lot of points. This is like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 40 points-ish. I'm just estimating. I'm not doing like a real clear count because it's still a little bit vague along the edges. That's a very big chunk of territory. This is also a huge move. This starts a really interesting fight. I wasn't expecting this. White can't really afford to just play like nice, right? Where we just let black solidify and grow strong. We have to try to fight black. Alright, so we start this. We like the capping move. This is a good forcing move. And kind of the really cool move I saw later after they start this fight. It would be really slow of white to just like take. It'd be, I mean, like, how do I put this? You'd have a peace of mind, but I really wouldn't want black to get really this strong around here. White's going to play this. This keeps black really weak. It makes it so that black only has like a narrow way out of escape. And even if black tries to save these stones, white, Hajin had a really great move, which is this, in which you're able to, like, black's not able to play like this because you can just cut. If black plays like this, you can connect. So that means that white has a door that way, and if black somehow doesn't want white to have that door, white can, I think, play, let me double check, this. Black Ataris, white connects, black connects, and then at this point you have to cut, but then you lose these two stones, which could be kind of bad. White plays here to attack. I don't see any other move that they come out. You don't want to play. You only want to play this as like a last resort. You only want to play these like defensive moves where you connect out on the first line, as in like an escape mechanism. Like you hit the button and then the trap. You eject from the fire jet. You really don't want to play these like right in the middle of combat. So we continue fighting, and then the black group up here looks pretty weak, but there's still some good. I like the next move. This move is really cool. And it starts this really intense fight. So now the black is slowly turning the left side of the board into territory by attacking the white group in the center. Maybe black should have played this. I mean, I totally get why black played this. I would play this because it means that there's like possible way to make d16 not an I. But if we look later, this proved to be bad aji. White played here, which is very big. Now white's group is very solid. He has a way out here and a way out under, so that's pretty cool. This is pretty much the only thing that's to move. The only move you can think of. Alright, let's move on a little bit. This was really cool. This is a very sleek move. I told you this game's about cool. It would be really kind of bad because I think if you let this get out, that's pretty terrible for the left side and the right side. So black has to cover. This is exchange. This is why I think that, this exchange comes into play later. And this is kind of this is where you're thinking the computer is really thinking like dozens and dozens of moves ahead. I think I read that AlphaGo reads 50 moves ahead and does hundreds of moves a second, and just blitzes through different things. I think white sees that there's a bad sequence for black on the left side, but it really depends on white's group in the center being strong, so therefore white's going to sacrifice the F3 and G5 stones. In exchange, he'll make some points in the center and then have the strength in order to play over here. That's the kind of like really subtle, like moving your chess pieces across the board Game of Thrones style. That's why I kind of picture AlphaGo as this is a Game of Thrones AlphaGo. Alright, so we played this, and I really didn't, this is the normal move, but, to each his own. White played this, and we have, white's going to die. After black plays this, white only has 2 liberties, so white has to, black has 3 liberties here. Let me just kind of make that clear. Uno, dos, tres. 3 liberties versus white's 2 liberties. So white's not going to really have enough liberties to do anything, but this is a sacrifice. So white plays here, which is important. That's Sente. White comes out, and black has this beautiful, this is so cool. So, if you play here, these 4 stones cannot be captured. So if you do like this, you can, I believe, pretty much ruin white's day. White only has, white does not actually, is not really able to get his liberties under control. This doesn't work. So black can just keep white at 2 liberties, and there's nothing white can really do about it. White knows that, so he plays here, and then black captures these stones. So now white's really strong in the center, and he has 10-ish points. So now white plays this, and this is why I thought that maybe, just maybe, my amateur opinion, c14 should be at b13, and you might not have this problem. Because what ends up happening is you really want to just see, this is such a strange move at first. I really just want to play like this at first and just protect the cut directly. And then white does have this, and maybe white has some move I'm not seeing. Maybe white can play something like this. Not sure how white is going to be able to live. I mean, this move looks decent. But sure, black played this, so he must not like that. White played here, and this sets up a ko. So white, this is Sente, and then black plays this pincer, and then we have the ko. So white has to try to win this ko in order to do anything. So white plays here, black takes, and white wedges. Now, truth be told, this is a bigger ko threat, and Hajin was talking about, in ko fights, you save the biggest ko threat for last. There is nothing worse than playing a really important ko fight and playing a ko threat that is not big enough. There is nothing worse than that. So when you really want that ko, and it's the last thread, you put the last thread down, and it's so big they must do it. They can't, or else they just are destroyed. It's all about timing with ko threats, and we've seen with AlphaGo masterfully using kos, or ko threats, or even the trying to maneuver the board to get more ko threats. That sort of thing, very subtle strategy we've seen so far. So white plays this as to generate ko threats, and black is not going to answer this. I mean, black could answer like this, and we go back like this, and I don't see the point. White is going to sacrifice this left side in order to make up a lot on the right side. Because once black does this, if you think about black only gains like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 points on the side. I mean, it's as far as if we're thinking about that, this was originally black's territory. Like, don't think I'm not counting the white stones, but this is originally black's territory. He had the most stones here. He has to kill white inside his own territory, and then white gets 2 moves on the right side to destroy territory that was his. This is, I think, a net gain for white. Like, white caught up a lot with this. Maybe black's a little bit too conservative. Black played here. I mean, I'm not sure what happens if black plays here, because there's some real problems if white gets to attach over here, or white plays this first, and then white gets to attach. I'm not even sure that black can. I try to make white shape bad, but the black is so low on liberties, and white has all this space over here. This is terrible. There's no way that's going to work. So moves like this make me nervous. So it looks like black played. I think this was Guli's move. He defended. White escapes. All right, this connection is all hunky dory, and so black lost a good chunk of territory that was firmly his, and he sacrificed the right side for. So some of the sacrifice was made back. White plays this. I guess if black really wants to just kill everything, he could just play like this. This is big. This is also big. I guess this is bigger than killing everything here. White plays this. This is Sente. And then white comes under here. Black pushes. There's this exchange. If white plays somewhere else, I'm just going to play a random move. White plays somewhere else, we have like this. And this looks like... Yeah, this looks like death. Like, yeah, we're just dead. So that's bad. So that's Sente. We defend. And then black plays here. I think this corner is perfectly fine. We get like this, and that's Sente. And then white can capture these 2 stones and make an eye in the corner. Like, white's not really in any sort of danger. Plays here, and this doesn't work. If you play like this, and I think that there's a problem, yeah, then white will die. Because even if white makes an eye, it doesn't matter. White only has 2 liberties, and black will have 3, because this M19, white will have to play 2 moves to occupy that space, so Mazel Tov. Black would win this capturing race, but we play like this, and then white wins the capturing race. What's really funny, the best story of this game, is that AlphaGo asked, basically AlphaGo's, Guli's partner AlphaGo was like, can we resign? I don't think we're gonna win this. And Guli's like, no, we're not gonna resign. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna make it happen. And AlphaGo's like, fine, I guess. AlphaGo obviously is not a human being or anything like that, but I just picturing AlphaGo just sort of like, well, fine, you know, I guess we'll just continue, whatever. And so the game continues on for a little bit, and this is all hunky dory. And then white plays like this is an I win move. Black plays this, and I'm thinking Guli played, like, Guli knows that obviously that this capturing race is not going to work. He can read this out in 5 seconds flat. So I'm thinking he's wondering what strange idea the computer is going to come up with, right? This is how, like, if you're the weaker player in Pair Go, I've played Pair Go with someone stronger than me. If you're the weaker player in Pair Go, a lot of times you'll play out like forcing moves or capturing races that you already know like what the result's gonna be, so that the stronger player can play somewhere else, and then you can figure out what was the actual big point of the game. So I'm figuring that Guli's like basically going to AlphaGo and saying, okay, dude, you make something happen, I'll follow you. And AlphaGo's like, I asked to resign, moves ago. There is nothing to make. Here, let me demonstrate that to you. Let me try to make a dead shape inside of a, there is no dead shape here. It's impossible. White's alive. You can't make what's called a Nakade shape, where you put stones inside of your opponent's formation to force them into a dead shape. There's too much space here. It's impossible. White plays here, and then we're done. AlphaGo asked to, AlphaGo very politely is just like, can we resign now? Now that I've shown you that there's absolutely nothing left, that all the groups are solid, everything that's dead is dead, everything that's alive is alive. And I think maybe there's like a ko here. If we do it like this, and then there's like this, and then like that, and then maybe this doesn't even really matter as far as black is concerned. Like white just took too much There's too much damage on the right side, really. And so maybe white AlphaGo just saying, "I've done the counting. I've read everything out. Can we just please go?" It was absolutely hilarious. I never thought in a million years Ghoulie would be playing stuff like this, where he's like relying on Alpha like this. He's relying on AlphaGo to show him, "All right, man, make it happen. I'll follow you." Or trying to keep the game going and not resign, even though the computers like AlphaGo's, I think, positional judgment and scoring are absolutely just excellent. So overall in this game, I have to basically say the moves that stuck out to me were this one. Again, I used to get yelled at for this, but now I'm going to play it all the time because look at it, it's AlphaGo, and if AlphaGo played it, then it must be good. Not for everything, but you know what? We're gonna go with it. And the fight here, the sacrifice in the lower right was very like just sleek and stylish. I loved it. It just gave black a really great shape on the outside. And then when we don't play Joseki, when we don't play the move that we're taught in the books, because this move it fits the board. In fact, I think AlphaGo will upend standard sequences because I think he'll upend the idea of standard sequences, the way we've been doing it. So like so far when you study Go, you like memorize these corner standard sequences. You like black plays this, white plays this, black plays this, and then you have like a shape that's just in the corner, and there's the rest of the board does not exist. And so you learn to try to tailor these different shapes to the rest of the board. When are they good? When are they not good? What situations would you use them? I think AlphaGo is going to upend that because AlphaGo always does full board thinking all the time. So like each move is custom made for the given board position. So I kind of feel that we're going to have a new age where it's just all full board. Like we're not going to bother trying to break the game up into quarters and sides. We're just going to have like a full board theory and throw out some of the old stuff. The other really cool thing in this game, we did all this. I like this. That was cool. The other like kind of sleek move that I really liked, if we go forward a bit, was when white used the potential on the left side to cause chaos. This sacrifice, which looked like he was dying, but just a sacrifice. We now make the middle strong, and then we play this. And then we start a ko, which we will use to destroy some black solid territory. It's not like we're destroying potential black territory, we're destroying black's actual territory. And the stones that we're sacrificing on the left side, they can come back and become zombies later on. So this is like long-term strategic thinking by white, and it's just absolutely amazing. I was very impressed. Guli and Lian Xiao both did an excellent job, and I can't wait for tomorrow when they have the 5-on-1 match where AlphaGo just takes them all on. And I expect AlphaGo to win, obviously, but what I'm really looking for is again, moves like this kick where you get yelled at. Like I want to hit the beginner move that he makes into an expert move. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.